back to my channel. I wanted to share this story that was released in November during the Gold Over America tour. Current UCLA gymnast and Olympic silver medalist Jordan Chile discussed to the media that she was verbally abused before transferring to WCC, which is Simone Biles' gym. Chile further spoke with Pop Sugar, noting that a woman coach she had at her Washington gym from ages 17 to 16 used to body shame her. You're turning into a woman at that point, so your body's changing. But even prior to that, it goes to points where I would be looking so skinny. I was fit. I was young. But she would still be like, "Oh, you look like a donut," or "a sack of potatoes," just out of the blue. Chell said she was afraid of her coach would catch her eating pizza, for instance, and it haunted me throughout the whole gymnastics career and my lifetime. She had to keep track of her weight, and if I was under 110 pounds, she called me fat. Charles later shared, "And keep in mind, I'm already tiny, and I'm built, so a lot of the muscle mass I have, that's where all my weight comes from." The gymnast added, "Ever since then, I've never stepped on a scale. I hate stepping on scales, because it's just awful." It took a while to mend her relationship with food, something that she admits she struggles with to this day. Things will continue to trigger her, and she'll always body shame herself. It wasn't until around 2 years ago that she finally realized, "What are you doing? Why are you still making it so hard on yourself to eat?" Jordan didn't name the abusive former coach, but she did share some of the ways in which she got in her head. Jill stated on the Today Show, "So I had a verbally abusive coach. She called me fat, and she said I looked like a donut. To the littlest things that people asking me, 'Oh, you're eating this today?' And it's like, well, I'm not eating it because you just triggered my brain. And it was really, really hard on me. Because I was just like, this is ridiculous. Like, what if I put myself through?" But I was also enjoying it at the same time. So it was like half of my brain was telling me one thing, and the other half was telling me another about gymnastics. It took a huge toll on my mental health. I didn't know who I was. I was trying to be other people that I was not. So looking back on those articles, we know that she ended up transferring to WCC and she's had a good career. But you must wonder, of course, we all know that USAG is trying to improve on their image. And anytime a high-profile athlete shares a poor experience with the public, USAG tends to pick and choose their battles. They tend to turn a blind eye to gyms that may not be as mainstream or well-known, and they may stay silent if this athlete has been in retirement for a number of years. But this leads me to ask a couple questions. Since she was the most recent darling of the 2020 Olympics, why isn't USAG looking into Jordan Chile's former gym? Does one complaint of verbal abuse promote USAG or Safe Sport to investigate if it's from a high-profile athlete in today's standards? How many complaints is needed before an investigation is conducted? And remember that conducted is a loose term, since these investigations, they have been going on for over 3 years. Took Haney over 10 complaints, Parkettes over 12 complaints. Then we have some gyms like Woga or Everest that have many go unnoticed. Now, we don't know if the gym was toxic or if this was just one coach that was toxic. So this leads me to believe again that this gym is going to go silent and brushed under the rug like USAG does, since this is only one claim that has come out. I hope that this gym, which I think I know the name of, isn't with ties to this coach anymore, and that they are not a toxic gym like some of the others I've discussed. When I did my research on this specific gym, I noticed that poor reviews of the gym were minimal, but they took place 7 to 8 years ago, which would have been about the time that Childs was there. They were stating of verbal abuse for various reasons, but again, there weren't many complaints about this to stick out to me. The only complaints I found were 2 on one male owner and 1 on a male coach. I'm not going to use the names. We know Child's coach was a female and not a male, so this is different. I'm hoping that this coach that Child spoke of has improved on her methods, since this may have been almost 10 years ago. I'm not sure if she's still a coach. I have no idea who this person is. But for now, we won't know. Of course, if Jordan Childs ever wanted to discuss this abuse with me, I'd love to help her out by being a platform to promote her story for change. I am glad, though, to hear that she's doing better since transferring to WCC and now having a great freshman year at UCLA. And I applaud Jordan for coming forward about her challenging time. I, of course, 100% wish the best for her.